Gonna shoot a little updated video on the turbo project for those that are interested in some other things I was working on here recently. So far the turbo seems to be working pretty good. I got about 2 or 3 hours on it, and I didn't run into any real issues yet, but still kind of early. Got the body painted up here, and oil lines run a little more correctly than what I had before. Moved the air cleaner down to this area, put a bracket between here and the where it's attached on the fuel tank. Here's where it used to be, sitting up here, so that works pretty good. You got to be careful about getting stuff in there yet, though. It's a little more vulnerable in this position. I did have a intake leak when I welded these little tiny flanges on. They tended to warp, so I filed it down. I don't have any machining capabilities as far as myself. I have to give them to somebody, but so I just filed it level and put some high temp silicone in there, and that seems to be sealing up, so I can build a little more boost now than what I could before, but still not getting anywhere near where it's gonna open up the bypass on the exhaust, the wastegate, I guess. Swapped the gauge out to this gauge. I actually got off eBay. It's 100 ounce inches, but I just went and redid it for pounds. So I do have some 0 to 10 psi gauges. I might have to go to that because sometimes I spike it past 6, and I'd hate to break it, but when it breaks, I'll swap it out with one of those. I had to put a little restrictor in here so it doesn't bounce so much, and that's kind of hard to get to adjust right. A little bit of a bend in here, not the greatest, but it works. I'm not too worried about it. If I have problems or if it cracks, I'll probably redo it. The other thing, I never did put the, ideally this would be a hard pipe from the discharge of the compressor over to the intake, and I didn't do that just because I don't know how I'm going to get that to the alignment very easily, so I just left the hose on there, and so far the hose hasn't started to melt, which is surprising. I'm guessing the exhaust temps are getting high enough to where could be a problem. It is touching just a little bit on the bottom, but it seems to be holding up. And then what else did I do? I ran the exhaust or crankcase gases back into the intake too, because I was just going to leave that off, but I noticed under load it start puffing quite a bit of smoke under there, so just made a little tap into here and welded the fitting on and put a hose on it, and it seems to be good now. So had to make a little cutout in the hood so when it closes it doesn't pinch the hoses any more than it needs to. What else? Put a couple brackets on the front for the snowblower. This is the first year I got the snowblower Bowen's. I think it's a 18100 series blower, if I remember right. So got that put on here, and thankfully I didn't have to mess too much with that weight bracket I put on. The hoses are a little tight in there, but they work okay. Probably wouldn't hurt to get some new hoses, but I'll probably just wait till they break, like most things. So as far as the brackets go, basically made this entire bracket that runs from here to here and welded on the different mounts. Didn't get a chance to paint it because the weather is just not allowing that, so next year I'll have to take it apart and clean it up again and paint it. But one thing I was surprised of is apparently the 2-cylinder diesel engines are a little bit wider than the 3-cylinder, because the distance from this engine frame to the other side is I don't know exact numbers, but it's at least an inch or inch and a half wider than the 3-cylinder one, so I didn't have to build up the bracket quite as much as it is on the 3-cylinder versions. On the 3-cylinder engine brackets for the blower, they actually come out and bend out to get the width that you need, and this just happened to work out where I could drop it straight down. So that's good. And then this bracket here is actually for the plow. I found a 54-inch John Deere I guess 4-way or 2-way, whatever you want to consider it. It's got up, down, left, right hydraulics on it. Here it is here. It's got the John Deere quick type hitch on it. So that's what that bracket's for. There's 2 pins on either side here, and then those are locking pins for the top. So you slide it in the bottom. Let's get back over here and look at this. You slide it into these grooves here on the bottom, and then you twist it up, and then it locks into this pinhole here. So that works, and it just so happens that the width here is just inside those brackets, and the other one goes on the outside, so they all clear, but just barely. So that's kind of update where we're at. One of these days, when I'm out snow throwing again, I'll try and get a video of it working. Had some fun yesterday with some pretty packed snow. It would have been good to get some videos. I just didn't do that. So anyway, we'll get one of these before the winter's over, and we'll get her out there. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention today, I'm going to make a new bracket. Here's the PTO lever to engage the front PTO, which I was lucky enough to get a new one with another tractor I bought, so that worked out well. The problem is, though, now is that this bracket I made is kind of in the way of your foot for the clutch. I mean, kind of, not really. You got to just be careful. So what I'm going to do is, and it's a little flimsy, as you can see. Not quite, I mean, it's okay. It's not going to break, but it's just a little flimsier, and I'd like it to be. So I'm going to make a piece out of tubing, and then I'm going to come off the tractor mount here, and then do a little 45 up, and then up from here, give me some more clearance where the foot is. And I plan on making that out of some tubing, which I saw here somewhere. There it is, way down there. It's kind of hard to see with that bigger square tubing. It's just thin wall. I think it's 1/16 or so, so it'll be interesting to weld with stick, but that's the best welding capabilities I have. So wire, I guess, or MIG would be better, but I'm not set up for it, and I have never done that before. So, and I could gas weld it too, but that'd be even worse, I think, as far as ugliness. So anyway, wanted to update that too as well. So hope you enjoy. Okay, I got the different bracket on for the PTO clutch engager. A square tubing, a lot stronger this one is, as you can see. No flexing or bending, so that turned out good enough for the purpose. Lots of room now for the clutch, so goal accomplished there. I guess while I'm at it, let's go ahead and shoot some snow in the backyard. We don't have a whole lot of snow, and it doesn't look like it's going to snow for a while, so I might as well do a little bit now while I still can. And I got a problem now with the limit switch on here. Warmed it up a little bit so we don't have to wait for that too long. It should be a little warmer. It'll be good enough. throw it a little farther instead of, now my up down isn't working. Oh, gotta turn the switch on, I guess. There we go. One more pass. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching.